when I found out that one of my heroes, Kurt Vonnegut, was going to come to town for the Wordstruck Festival. I just got really excited, and so you know, everybody pretty much knew I was very vocal about my fan, you know, being a fan of Vonnegut. So I ended up getting invited to 2 or 3 different things that he was going to be at. So it was really great. It was just, like a whole Wordstruck festival. Allen Ginsberg came to town, and it was almost exactly 20 years ago. It was in October of 1991. Oops, down. And so here I am in my 80s jacket. I'm still wearing, I think I was trying for like, to look like the keyboardist for the Cars. I was going for really, you know, Grey Hawks kind of a look. It's the only thing I could figure out. I couldn't contain my fanboy, really is like the term for it. So I guess I was like popping up everywhere and just talking to him. But got to meet him, so, you know, can we have a picture? That'd be okay, that's fine. And what I did, in addition to wanting to get my book signed, Breakfast of Champions, my favorite book, was I gave him a drawing that I had made. And it was a portrait of him. And just kind of slipped, and as he was signing my copy of Breakfast of Champions, I said, maybe you can put a little drawing in there? And that didn't happen. But the drawing went into his pocket, and I was like, oh, that's kind of bizarre, I'll never see that again. But that was when I met him. Well, this is the picture that caught my eye about a year or 2 later. This is Meiji Faley, a local writer, talking with Carl Sandburg. And I just stumbled upon that in the bookstore. This is the back cover. And I was like, that's kind of cool. So I started looking at it. And she'd written this book, Forgive Us Our Trespasses, which was more or less a memoir of hers. And had a lot about her meeting Sandburg and the correspondence. So apparently he stayed with her and her husband when he came to town for that Wordstruck Festival. And in the book, that drawing that I made for him appeared. And I was just like, what? You know, like, huh? It's just kind of an uncanny, bizarre feeling when you know, at least I drove through this portrait and suddenly it appears in a book. And it says, just like Booth Tarkington, a frustrated cartoonist, pretty good too. So I guess she thought this was his signature. So that was me just writing Kurt Vonnegut so people would know who it was, because I didn't think it really looked all that like him. And I just sketched it out, you know, like as I was waiting, like a brainstorm, like, oh, okay, maybe you'll get a drawing in your book. But here's a picture from the Wordstruck Festival '91. Kurt has finished Wordstruck and I can relax. So I checked it out, and the weird thing was that my signature was still on there as well. So that was the day I met him, on October 11th, 1991. And you know, I was just kind of amused and showing my friends. I worked at a bookstore then, so I was showing my friends, like, check this out, isn't this bizarre? And I started thinking, I should at least correct, just for journalistic integrity, that this is not really drawn by him. So I contacted the publisher. Yeah, and slow time, you know. Well, no, not that at all. But just to kind of set the record straight, and they gave me Meishi's phone number. So I called her, and we got to talking, and she gave me Kurt Vonnegut's own phone number. Because I was formulating this plan that maybe I could use this mistake to get a contribution from him in writing. Nothing about money. It was all just, you know, hey, this is kind of a bizarre thing. If I can't get a drawing from him now, then I don't know when I will. So I sent him a copy of our latest issue 2 years later, which was 1993. Number 3 had come out, and we had a logo by that time, so it was getting a little bit more solid in appearance, but I still would paint on each one to make them unique. So the basic drawings were all the same. And I call him up. It was like a really strange phone call because I'm on break in the break room of the bookstore, and I'm making this call. And he answered, and he said, yeah, I kind of remember that because I was just rattling all this stuff out. And he says, hold on a minute. And there's jazz music playing loudly in the background. And my first thought was he's just putting the phone down and he's just going to walk away. Not that he's a mean guy, but I'm sure he gets cranks calling all the time. But what he was doing is turning the stereo down. And so he came back and we talked about it, and he gave me his post office box number, and I said, I'll send you the issue, current issue, and if you like it and want to send something, please do. And included a self-addressed envelope, which at that time was kind of a key to getting writers I wanted to send work to pLopLop to send that stuff. And just the self-addressed stamp envelope did wonders. I mean, I got work from Bukowski that way, and other writers I enjoyed. So this is what I got. I wish a long and playful life to pLopLop in Indian no place, where I myself was born. It appeared to be drawn in like a flare tip pen, and here's him smoking a cigarette, of course, the ever-present Pall Mall, with the social commentary, very bad. So, kids stay in school, and of course the infamous sphincter, which I think was slightly blotted, probably still by his hand. I mean, I haven't had it very much analyzed, but that was just a thrill to get that in the mail, and it just really put booster rockets on the zine, because with our next issue, I mean, like I said, I got some Bukowski and was able to publish some previously unpublished Kerouac, and of course the Vonnegut, and that was a real coup to get something from him for a small press magazine. And almost unheard of, so pretty neat and important to me because I learned so much from him as a writer, and just almost every book or every interview he would always have tips for writers and just things, and talking about how he worked and ideas and like sort of shortcuts and tips and things. It's very valuable, and I think very generous with his wisdom and his time to do that. So I always learned so much, and I mean, just a complete thrill and a kick. And of course, when I send him his contributor's copy, I send another self-addressed envelope. Said, if you just happen to, maybe want to, have some more work you want to send, but I never saw anything. Maybe it just got lost in the mail or something. But no, I mean, that was maybe pushing it a little bit. But you get your the publisher's hat on,